Live from Copple Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome to Speed and Power on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm your host, Megan Walker, and joining me tonight, we've got Harrison. We've got some amazing food from Lincoln's Pub tonight. It smelled so good in my car. I was like, I have to dive into this. But we got some wings, and we've got a meatball sub again. So yeah, shout out to Lincoln's Pub, always providing great food.
You went to the wings route this time?
I did. Trey, watching him eat it, I was like, I gotta do this.
Yeah, which if you didn't catch last week, again, definitely check it out. We had Trey Palmer, former Husker. He's getting ready for the NFL draft right now, but that was a great show. We got to hear about him, and I don't know what it is about those freak athletes, but they almost seem more nonchalant.
Yeah.
Because it's just like they have it. They're just not worried. And,
his energy too. He was so relaxed and so chill and so easy to talk to.
And then you see him play. It's not that same energy. It's just a violent, and it's kind of funny too to hear the trash talking that goes on between corners and wide receivers. And dude, if you're talking trash to Trey Palmer, that's a recipe for disaster. You're not going to win that one.
No, yeah, literally. But yeah, I can't even after talking to him, I can't see him talking trash, he just seems
he's
so
such
kind.
a nice guy.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess you're a different person on the field. That's how it is.
Yeah, and we always kind of dive in this, but you don't really. Have you ever had moments where you trash talk?
There are some people that you don't like on separate teams that talk trash about you, but I've never trash talked anyone. I haven't had the guts to do that. I feel I don't want to be seen as that athlete, for football that's different, but for track you don't want to be known as that person that's gonna hate on everybody,
Especially for track too. Unless you're the very best, it's gonna bite you eventually.
Yeah.
Unless you have that Trey Palmer speed. I wonder, he'd be one of the guys that I could see totally being a dual athlete at Nebraska. But we've kind of had that conversation too, how hard it'd be. But you think that work, right? Do you think he was capable to do track and football?
I feel his mindset and discipline in his life could make it work. But I feel only certain people can do it for so long,
Yeah.
Because playing one sport is super taxing. And doing multiple, that's gonna kill you.
Well, the homework too. I don't know if you saw Princeton. They had a video. They're doing calculus during March Madness.
Oh my gosh.
Stuff like that's insane. And I'd imagine you're in March Madness. Yeah, you need to do the homework, but I'd hope they give you a little leeway on the time window, considering you don't know when you're even going to come home based on that tournament. But do you think you could do multiple sports at UNL, or do you think it's just way too much?
I feel you'd have to love both of your sports, care about them equally, and I don't know. That's hard because I really love track, and I can't imagine loving another sport just as much. I feel I'd want to say I could do it, but I'd have to quit school.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You almost have to give something up. But
yeah.
If you love both sports, I don't know what you give up. We said it a few times, but it wasn't real. We had Brant Banks on the basketball team, but his career stat line, I think it was zeros across the board and then over 2 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
And he almost had a rebound, but I think he tried to bring it down. And he clapped it in his hands and just flew out of bounds. So just a tough stat line. But stuff like that, yeah, you're on the team, but you're not really on the team. You're not giving your all. But to actually be elite at both, I'm trying to think of athletes, because I know we have some woman athletes that do.
We got Maggie Mendelson, who's doing volleyball and basketball.
Yeah, which I'm excited to see how that continues to go if she keeps up with it. Because I do feel when it happens, after a year, the student athletes that was crazy. I'm not doing that again.
And Mikey Pauley's playing baseball and football. I feel those are two sports that are a lot of work,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel if you're a dual sport athlete, you need to have time for yourself as well. Because I feel I barely have time for myself, to do things that I genuinely want that are going to help my mental health.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what do they do, because they're always at practice, they're always doing stuff for their sport, and they're always doing homework.
Oh yeah, and then even your recreational, it's maybe you like reading books at night. You're way too tired.
Yeah,
you're just gonna sit down, maybe get through a page, and then you're just gonna pass out, and then it's repeat on loop. But again, we aren't live on air, but we are streaming all of our shows tonight to kind of keep you guys plugged in, because we got Westwood 1. They're running the girls basketball tournament going on right now, and I believe they have the South Carolina Gamecocks playing right now. That's the one they're calling. So you're listening on the air, that's the game you'll hear, but otherwise we do have the streams up on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and that is the way you can comment in as well. If you're really crazy, you can comment on the Starter Heyman text line and listen to the stream at the same time. That's 402-464-5685. It's a couple extra steps, but can do it that way if you want, I suppose. But since we're kind of on that subject, when you do get recreational time, outside of school, outside of sports, what do you like to do?
I've recently started bowling with my friends.
You're getting into bowling?
I'm getting into bowling. I'm not very good at it. I thought I was good at it, but
You need the
like,
bumpers, or you pass that?
oh, I'm past the bumpers.
Okay.
I'm not that bad.
You never know. There's people that
It's just
they
like
still need them.
some days you're good, some days you're just not good. But yeah, bowling I've taken up. Hot girl walks with my roommate, just walk around campus.
That's what they call them,
That's
hot
what we
girl
call it,
walks.
yeah. And then I've started to read more.
Okay, that's good.
So,
What do
yeah.
you like to read?
I'm reading Get Out of Your Head right now.
Is that just like about mental health?
It's like keeping like negative and bad and toxic thoughts out of your mind, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm reading Atomic Habits again. So this is like my 4th time. Please tell me you've read the book. It's an amazing book.
No, that's why I was drawing a
Oh my
blank there.
gosh. Like I would totally recommend it. It's about like your habits and like there's a thing called the 3-minute rule. Like if you can get something done in 3 minutes, like you have to do it.
That's a
It-
good rule, because
it's
there's
a
a lot
good
of things
rule,
that would take
yeah.
3 minutes that I'm like, I'll read a few more Reddit posts and then I'll
Exactly.
do it. And then you just like, it's getting late. I'm not gonna do that anymore.
That's my challenge for you is you have to read Atomic Habits by
Okay.
the next time I see you.
That's a challenge. I got a lot of books lined up because
Really?
that's one of my goals. My goal is to read a book every week, and so far, I cut myself some leeway. So if someone hands me like a 450, it's like I'll try, but if I don't get it done, it's like carry over the next week, and then just try to like play catch up so you can kind of get back to that week. So right now, I'm just reading the Witcher series because that's the one I started with because I got the full set. So I'm almost done with that one. And then I started reading Tuesdays with Maury on the side, just to kind of break out of that. And then I got another book that Magic handed me. That one sitting on the table. And those are ones you sign and then hand to the next person.
Uh-huh.
So I got like a stack. And my brother Houston just handed me a book to read over the weekend at the baseball games we went together. So I just have like books. So like add it to the list, I guess.
You got
It
a whole
sounds like a good
library.
book.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably really important though, because I like not even just athletes, but if you consider life, and Nicole and Jeff actually on Fitness Fanatics kind of referenced this way, and like to be totally healthy, you got to really minimize the highs and lows.
Mhm.
Like if you can't just come crashing down after a high, like you're gonna have your ups and downs, but if you can keep that roller coaster as level as possible, I feel like that's just like the biggest thing for most people. Like if you have those really bad days where you just didn't run right, like how do you bounce out of that? What are your methods?
I've kind of like come up with this new thing. Like it's my new saying. It's c'est la vie. So like I'm just taking the mentality of like tomorrow's a new day. Like
Mhm.
today you might be having a bad attitude, you might be not performing to your best, but like it's gonna happen. Like everyone has those days. You just need to move on. Like staying in that hole isn't gonna help you. Like focusing on what's going on, like focusing on how bad it is, doesn't do anything for you. You just need to move on.
Okay, so then I got a follow up for you, and this one's for a student athlete in particular, because I'm sure you already kind of know the narrative. The narrative right now feels like modern day athletes, maybe not so much at the college level, but especially the professional level, they consider them like softer, more like can't take criticism well.
Mhm.
Do you attribute that to them like actually lacking that capability, or do you think it's just we're in this new era and every little thing they say gets put online?
Are you saying like negativity? Like
Yeah, like do you believe in the negative criticism that players today are in fact mentally softer?
I think that everyone needs criticism though. Like when it comes to
Yeah.
a sport, like if my coach is going to criticize me, I'm going to take that to heart and I'm going to change that. I feel like certain people can't take that as much. Like I know certain coaches are going to be more tough on their athletes and like push them down so that they can rise up, but like not everyone can handle that. I feel like you need to get to that point where you can mentally understand what your coach is trying to say and not take it to heart though. Like take it against you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like just because it's true, like yeah, I'm not even that. Like, yeah, it is true. Like,
Mhm.
there's just going to be things that you're not going to be good at,
Mhm.
and you just have to be humble and understand. I'm not good at that. Like in UFC, you wouldn't see a fighter if he has that attitude that I don't need to adjust himself. Like he's going to get knocked out in the 1st
Mhm.
round. So I think I kind of am I getting that right?
Yeah, but like
kinda
that's
what
what we
you're
have
saying?
like coaches and trainers. Like they're there to make you better.
Mhm.
You know, like they're gonna critique you, they're gonna tell you things that you're not doing right so that you can get to your better level. You know?
Now, we don't have to say names, and not even on the Nebraska roster. We can be talking about other schools as well. But do you see that among other athletes that is kind of surprising to you that they don't have that mentality and they really let it get under their skin?
I feel like it's everywhere though. Like people are gonna
Yeah.
hate on a coach because like, oh, like they're always telling me like what I'm doing wrong. Like I've gone through that point. Like, oh, why is this person always like hating on me and telling me like my things are wrong or that I'm not
Mhm.
going fast enough? But then like later on, I've seen like, oh, this is why they put so much time and effort into what I was doing. So now that my form is right, my reps are better, like everything made sense in the end. Like everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, follow back to the books. You read Harry Potter. You look like a Harry Potter kind of guy.
That's with the glasses, and my name's Harrison. Is
Yeah.
that why? No, actually, that's one of the series I'm not super keen on.
Have you seen the movies?
Yeah, I've seen the movies. I think it's probably, if I would read the books, I probably would gain a greater appreciation.
Mm.
And I think I also ruined the movies by like kind of just hopping around everywhere. Like I think I watched what's the finale called of the movies with Voldemort, where they finally.
I don't watch Harry Potter. I have no clue.
Oh, okay, well the finale,
Mm-hmm.
it's split up into two really long movies, and I watched the second one first, and then the other one second. The first one
You
second.
cheated the movies.
Yeah, so I like completely ruined the story structure, and like
Mhm.
even the old ones, I was like hopping around because it was such like a culture favorite that it was on all the time.
Yeah.
And you go over to your friend's house and be like, "What are you watching, Harry Potter?" Well, you're just like, "No, start at the very beginning." And like they're not gonna do that. They're in the
Yeah.
middle of the movie, so I haven't been all over. But no, I'm not super big on them. The movies are good though. I do like the movies. I never got super sucked into the lore.
That's crazy. Like Lord of the Rings, anything like that?
Yeah, I
You
do
get
love
sucked
Lord
in-
of the
yeah,
Rings.
that's a good. Those
That's
are good
one.
movies.
The Hobbit, that's one thing me and my girlfriend always do. Like we always just run through. Are you a fan of Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit?
I do. Like I used to watch with my brother in like 3D. That was perfect.
Have you seen the new ones? Like all the Hobbit ones?
I
guess
saw
they're
the
not
Hobbit
new.
ones. Yeah,
Okay, so
those were good.
when you watch them, do you go chronological or release order?
Just whatever he puts on, really.
So you're
It
okay.
just doesn't really matter. It's just they're all good movies. Yeah, I saw Creed 3 the other day. That was a good movie.
That's one of my. I love the Rocky and Creed series. Have you seen the other Creeds?
I haven't. No.
Okay, so
Creed
you're doing
3
what
was
I
good.
did with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You're just going to number 3 when you got 1 and 2.
But it was like a good movie. I feel like I didn't need backstory to it. You know?
Yeah, you don't. It's just a fighting
No, it was
movie.
shit. I felt like I could fight anybody after that movie. I was punching, I was throwing swings, I was so ready.
Yeah, and what's the actor's name? I always forget. He's a Jordan. It's Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's probably one of my favorite actors too, and he plays that role really well.
Mm-hmm. Is he
'Cause-
your guy crush? Like everyone has that crush. That's an actor.
Yeah, he probably is.
He is?
Honestly, probably because I just love the Creed movie so
Mhm.
much. And in the very first Creed movie, I know like they had the ties in with Rocky. I think the same thing for the second one. Was Rocky in the third one as well?
I didn't see Rocky.
Okay, so probably no Rocky. I mean, he's getting older,
Yeah.
so I don't know. He has his money. He doesn't really need to keep doing it anymore. But
Mhm.
no, those are just awesome. Like that's still one of my favorite movies of all time. I know the story structure isn't great, but just like the Rocky 4 when he fights the Russian,
Mhm.
like you think about the awesomeness of that. Like that's during the time when it's like kind of like the Cold War scare and all that's going on,
Yeah.
and you got Rocky cutting wood, just doing everything the American way. It was just like, oh man, it's awesome to be American. Like that's the same time you had, Top Gun, Tom Cruise, and like
Mhm.
that's when like the US dominated in the culture with films. Now it's pretty even. I mean, TikTok is the biggest thing, social media, and that's China owns that. So like it's
Mhm.
definitely shifted culturally. But man, at a time, like we just dominated in the culture because our movies were so much better.
Mhm. I
What-
keep seeing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask what your favorite movies were.
Favorite movies. There's so many good movies out there. That's a hard one. I need to think about that. But like, I keep seeing stuff about TikTok being banned. Do you think that's gonna happen?
No way.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. The problem with that is like I understand the concern. Like it's about the data. Like what is
Mhm.
China all gathering for data? And like I won't dive super deep into the politics because I don't know everything, but it's just kind of like, isn't that kind of already happening even if you get rid of TikTok? Like are we really keeping our data and access like from being looked at from other companies, foreign countries? Like I feel like it's inevitable. And all the people that were opposed to it, you look at what they're invested in, like because you can just look that up with politicians, like they have to have that open. It's no surprise their stocks are in Apple, Microsoft, like they're TikTok's rivals in the tech business. So it's like, no wonder you oppose, like you want to ban it. So I don't know where it goes. I don't think it's going to happen though.
I feel like if it did get banned, there'd have to be like another social media platform that would arise.
Do you think it'd be a new one, or do you think YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels? Do you think one of them would just take over and get better?
I feel like our generation is like into new things, like wanting to try new
Yeah.
things, and so I feel like YouTube or like any other app would have to like really do something like drastic, like a drastic change.
They would have to. I will say, like, I don't have TikTok, and I don't know. You can tell me if this is a problem on TikTok, but on the Reels that I do get on like Reddit, Instagram, does Facebook have Reels now? Okay, so
Mhm.
I don't have Facebook, but those Reels, I know with the Instagram and Reddit ones are super repetitive, and it's just like repost, repost,
Mhm.
repost. Does that happen on TikTok?
Like you can repost someone's video. Whoops.
Yeah, but is the algorithm just feeding you reposts?
It's not
of
going to be
stuff
that
you've seen?
same video. Like you're not going to see the same video like multiple times. Like you might see like similar videos, that's what like the algorithm does. Like if you
Yeah.
like a dog video and you watch it, then there's gonna be like 1,000 more dog videos below. But yeah, TikTok's crazy, like how much they know about you and like what you like.
Well, they're so much better at it because,
Mhm.
like you said, like that's the problem with the YouTube short algorithms is it would be like, oh man, you really like that video. Do
Mhm.
you want to see it again? Do you want to see it again?
Yeah.
Do you want? And I'm like, I've seen it 5 times going through 10 shorts. So like, I feel like their algorithms must just be like super far behind.
Mhm.
So like you said, it might just have to be something new.
Yeah, who knows? But like I keep seeing stuff about like the verification on Instagram. Like
Yeah.
you need to work hard for it to like get the verification. That's what I like keep seeing. So I don't know. That's just weird. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it was funny though. I will say about the TikTok thing, like all politics aside, it was hilarious trying to watch like some of the older people try to figure out like what
Yeah.
they're talking about. Like, is it your TikTok connecting to the house's Wi-Fi? And he's like, I mean, yeah, it connects to your Wi-Fi. And he's like, so does it have access to all your Wi-Fi devices? And he's like, I don't know what you're asking right now. Like, no, just connect. I mean, you don't have to use the Wi-Fi. You can use it. And it's just like having these people ask questions about something they didn't fully understand was,
Mhm.
I mean, left or right, either way you lean, it wasn't fun to watch. It
That's
was just like
crazy.
painful. Do you think it's gonna get banned?
I feel like we've been through this phase already. Like there was a point where they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
they were talking
TikTok's
about it
gonna be
once.
leaving and all this stuff. But I'm seeing more TikTok or like people that are like up high on the chain of TikTok that are like, oh, I'm gonna miss TikTok. Like it allowed me to get my story out and like you guys are helping me and all this stuff. So I really don't know what's gonna happen.
I worry about businesses because I do
Mhm.
think it's unfair. There's some businesses that have really done well just purely marketing off TikTok. Like
Mhm.
we've had Nico and Chris Ramsey. They do really well on TikTok. I think Chris Ramsey does really well
Yeah.
on TikTok. So like guys like that use the service like innocently, we're just like simply using it to monetize their own business, influencer, whatever you may be.
Mhm.
It feels kind of rude to, well, not even rude, just unfair to rip that away from them because that's years they've spent on it,
Mhm.
not assuming it's going anywhere. And if you're a business or you're just business yourself and you're influencer, like all that just gets ripped away from you.
Yeah, because like my social media following has increased drastically since I've gone to college, and I feel like TikTok has been a part of that. Like it's gotten me out there, and like more people be able to see me, and so like now I have more of a following.
What are you at on TikTok right now?
TikTok, I'm at like 16,000, but my Instagram has jumped to like 20,000.
Holy crap.
I know, and that's like TikTok got me to that point.
What was it? Do you remember what the number was like roughly before you got to college?
For my Instagram, it was at 4,000, and then I had posted a viral TikTok about like Nebraska, and I got up to like 1.5 million views, and then my Instagram skyrocketed, and then I kept posting TikToks, and then my Instagram kept going up, and then my Instagram's just going up.
Do you like? I wonder with that pop. Do you turn notifications off after a certain point?
On which app?
Like Instagram?
No, I love notifications. I just love to see them all. I just love it. Yeah, I can't do that thing where like you turn your phone on do not disturb and you just get nothing. Like I need to know what's going on. Like I need to see what's happening. I need to see who's reaching out to me.
Okay, because I know like certain waves of followers, like it's like you're all night your phone's just like ringing, and then you scroll through it. Oh, so it doesn't bother you at all?
No, well, I don't have my ringer on, so it's just like I love seeing my phone.
Oh,
light
it just
up.
kind of does the light up and vibrate.
Exactly. My roommate has her ringer on all the time, so like she was getting phone calls, text messages, emails, and it like, oh my gosh, I love her to death. But her phone ringer, man.
Yeah. Well, that being said, though, we got to throw it to break here. We got 2 more segments left of speed and power. Fortunately, just speed today, no power, but nonetheless, we'll keep the show rolling. And then after that, we will have a gap for an hour, and then Talking Tens will go from 8 to 9. So we still got one more Ticket Weeknight show after this one, 8 to 9 o'clock. But we'll throw it to break here, right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at doane.edu.
March is a month of good luck. From epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
March is full of high school state basketball action, the NCAA tournament, baseball season starting up, all great things that also cause a lot of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of all of it with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages: deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A. Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $10 off any athletic shoes $105 and under, and get $15 off any shoe over $105. Choose from respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, On, and 361 Running. And don't forget the trendy Hey Dudes. A new shipment just arrived for the season. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at doane.edu.
March is a month of good luck. From epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Speed and Power on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm your host, Megan Walker, and I've got Harrison with me. And amazing food that we have not dove into yet. It smells really good.
That's
though.
the worst part of having Lincoln's Pub here is, especially running the board. Like, you're probably okay.
Mhm.
You want to dive in a little bit, but I will not. I know Jake would just be devastated if he comes in for early break and there's just grease covering the board. Like, I just can't be doing that.
No, I just feel like gross eating. You know, like I'm so messy that I don't want to like get it everywhere.
It is also not fun for people in their car just to be hearing like someone chewing.
Literally. And my jaw clicks every time I like eat.
Oh, I always forget about
so
that.
yeah, like I really don't want to just be like, you know?
Is that something that like flares up, or is that just like consistent all the time?
So I had gotten in a skiing accident in 7th grade and I got like a huge concussion and whatnot. And
Mhm.
ever since then, it just has not gone away. I talked to doctors and they're like, oh, we could do surgery on it, but like it's not a high chance of fixing it. But like it doesn't bug me, it just bugs other people. So I really don't care.
What was the skiing accident? How'd you land on your straight on your chin, or what?
It's actually a funny story. We actually don't know. I was on a school field trip.
What's
and
what age?
7th grade. I don't know what age that is.
So were you like pizza French fry level, or do you actually know how to ski?
Okay, I thought I was really good.
Okay,
Like, I'd skied
so
once
you're
before.
beyond pizza French fry,
I'm-
but
oh,
you're not
yeah.
elite.
I was pretty elite, I thought.
Okay.
But like my friend was a really good skier and she's like, hey, let's go down like the hardest path.
Mhm.
I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. Like I'm great. So we're going down this path. She goes before me. I go a little bit afterwards. And then I went down the path and after that it was just kind of black.
Oh,
And
so
then
you had a wipe out
They
where
think I had like a, what is it?
whiplash?
Whiplash.
Yep.
And so yeah, I went to the ER that night and they're like, yeah, you got a bad concussion. And then I was gonna go to the doctor like the next day, but I couldn't walk that next morning. So my motor skills had completely like they were gone.
Whoa.
And so I went to the doctors, had MRIs, CAT scans, and then I had to relearn how to walk, balance, and then reading.
Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this?
I don't know. I just don't like talk to people about it.
So you were like almost paralyzed, or were you
Little
at
bit.
least scared you're going to be paralyzed?
I was out of school for a long time.
Yeah, I'd imagine you were having to relearn
hmm
how to write.
Balance. It was horrible. I hated PT, but yeah.
How long did you have to do that for?
It was, I think, a year because I missed so much school. And so, like, there's some subjects that, like, I struggle with in college because, like, I didn't learn them in high school
Yeah.
or middle school or whatever because my teachers just kind of gave up on me because I was never there. And, like,
Yeah,
I couldn't
like,
get myself to, like,
She's
learn.
figuring out how to walk again. So like let's not make her worry about school on top of it. I can imagine you're gonna give that kid some leeway because it's like they were worried about some big future things that might inhibit them forever.
Yeah, but bless my parents. They were there for me every step of the way.
What was the mountain range? Do you remember
The what?
the mountain range that you were skiing on? Was it Colorado or even the
No,
state?
it was in South Dakota.
Great Bear?
Yeah.
No
what it
way.
was. Yeah. It was like the diamond whatever. So, yeah, don't go on a school field trip skiing with your class. That's
All
what I
right, so if
learned.
anyone doesn't know, Great Bear, it's not a mountain, it's a hill. So like that.
No, it was steep. Like I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, but I did it.
You know what I can see is Great Beer or Great Beer. Great Bear is
Yeah.
ice.
It
It is
is.
not. It's never powder. So, I mean, if it's a whiplash, I don't know. And you must just that's crazy. But I can also see you just like knocking your head. I know I had a friend that you know how at Great Bear they have that little stunt section,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a helmet on, and he was a pretty good snowboarder, and he was doing tricks, and he soared on this jump and over rotated. Or no, it didn't rotate enough, and he landed like straight on his dome. He had the helmet on, but it cracked his helmet and gave him a concussion. And it was like, thank God you had the helmet on. Like that's brain damage. That's probably like internal bleeding in the head.
That's insane. But no, the day we went, like it had just iced over like a few days before, so there were so many kids that got hurt.
Yeah, it's not smart to. It's probably bumps kids out there. But like, if I was a principal and I was like, what are we doing for a field trip? We are not going snowboarding or skiing. Because that is gonna even if I sign waivers, someone's gonna get hurt, and then I have to call their parents, and then they're like, "This isn't safe." And to be truthful, like especially when it's icy like that, which Great Bear usually is. It's like I said, it's a hill that they.
It's a mountain, Harrison.
Yeah. I was really hoping you said Colorado because I was like, I can see it, but
That would have been less embarrassing.
yeah, the Great Bear one is
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, the name's intimidating. Maybe people think it's different.
Exactly. But no, like it's a part of my story. Like I feel like without that, like I wouldn't be where I am.
Where were you at mentally with all that? Were you freaking out?
It was horrible. So the day it happened, that following weekend, I was supposed to go to state volleyball.
Mhm.
And I was like in high school and middle school, I was a pretty good volleyball player. Like I was varsity young as a freshman and whatnot. So I was supposed to go to my state volleyball. I was like, Mom, I'm going. Like I'm doing this. And she's like, honey, you can't walk. And so that was really like mentally hard. Like being out of my basketball and volleyball season just like really took a toll on me. And I feel like it brought me like into like maybe a little bit of a depression.
Yeah,
Because like
absolutely.
when you're an athlete and like you are blessed with a gift and you're not able to do that, that's really hard.
Well, even just time away from school, you're not seeing people either.
Exactly. No, I'd have friends come over and like bring me gifts. So it was pretty nice.
Okay, so you weren't cut off from the
No,
world.
my
at least.
neighbor would come over and do my nails all the time. It was good. I was living the good life. My dad made me chicken piccata whenever I wanted. Loved my life.
Chicken. What is it?
Piccata.
Piccata?
It's like a French dish. It's my favorite food.
It sounds good. I don't know what it looks like.
My dad makes it perfectly.
Is your dad a good cook?
My dad is a great cook. Yeah.
DP's called this out before. Have you had your parents call in yet?
I haven't. No.
There's always a time for that.
I bet they're listening. So mom, dad, if you're listening, just call on in.
Because that's for every Ticket Weeknight show that we have. Usually it's day one. We have the parents call in and give us some insight about the student athlete we're talking to. Because typically student athletes humble and they're not going to say everything. So it's kind of fun to have the parents. And usually the parents, they might oversell it, but it's even funnier if they do. But nonetheless, if you guys are listening, feel free to call in 402-464-5685 or anyone for that matter can call in on the show 402-464-5685. So was there like pain through that rehab process?
Oh yeah. I just felt so weak. Like I feel like like learning to walk again, like I'm like I should know how to do this.
Did they say like you'll walk again, it's just going to take time, or were they not sure?
I feel like there was always like this expectation that I was going to walk, or like that's
Okay.
what I put in my head. Like I was never worried that like, hey, I'm not going to be able to walk again. If that was just me, or I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out because like anything with the neck or spine, especially if it's a whiplash, like I wonder what the original diagnosis was.
Yeah.
Like how worried they were, or if it's like, yeah, she's definitely got some damage, but she'll be fine.
Yeah.
So at the whole time though, you were like, I'm gonna walk again. It's just gonna take time.
I feel like I was like in 7th grade. Like this is just like a few day kind of thing, you know. And I didn't really like to listen to my doctor. Like my doctor was like, "You have no reflex in your legs." I'm like, "It's there. It'll just like it's taking a little bit of time, you know." But yeah, I don't know. It was just like it was scary, but like everyone else was freaking out but me.
Okay, that makes sense. That you're a D1 athlete now. It probably takes kind of that like calm and like focus in order to perform. So how was it like you're going out on a wheelchair, like you can't walk at all?
Yeah, I had to be in a wheelchair. That was so embarrassing. Like, you know, when you're a kid, it's like, oh, I want to like be on crutches or I want to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And then when it finally happens, you're like, I hate this. Like, I can do this. Like, I don't need this. So I don't know. I feel like when you're helpless and like you do need help, it's harder. So yeah.
How was learning how to write again? Well, not like getting the muscle strength to write again.
I did not like going to like eye therapy and like,
Yeah.
that was horrible. Like people that go through like rehab and stuff, like I do not understand how you do it. Like that's so taxing. Like even just like your mind and like you're so tired afterwards. Like even just stupid stuff like reading, like flashcards. Like I was like, I've already done this. Like I'm in 7th grade. Like yeah, it was just so
So that's probably got to be the worst injury you've ever had, right? Or
that was the worst injury. I don't think I've ever had anything else. Like no broken bones, no nothing.
just a nasty whiplash.
Hey, I'm okay with that. Just one injury. And
Yeah,
I'm
at
good with it.
least you're performing well now, and like it didn't. At least I don't think it hindered your performance. You're performing well too, and obviously you got to a D1 school in track. Was there a catch-up period though when you're finally back in athletics where you're like, man, I'm just not as fast as I used to be?
Well, I had never ran really before my concussion, and like track was the easiest thing that I could do because like basketball and volleyball were very like physical,
more hand-eye
sports.
coordination.
Yeah. And so like track was just kind of my thing I went to, and then took it and ran with it because that was the only thing I could do, and then I just happened to be blessed with a talent there and a hard work ethic.
Pun intended there.
Yeah.
Ran
with it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Shout out to the parents too. Sounds like they did a great job.
They did a great job. Good job, Chris and Randy Walker.
Yeah, because it's probably a lot of driving around. Imagine that's a lot of appointments to get
Doctor's
to.
appointments, I hated it.
And I mean, you can't drive. Not only, I don't know what age you were in middle school, but even if you could, it's not like you're going to be able to, they're going to trust you with your legs to drive a car. Man, it is kind of crazy when you hear all these D1 athletes too. They always typically, unless they're really just like have some dog in them, they're typically always come from really good families. Because it does take a level, like even if you're a gifted athlete, you still have to have the grades. You still have to work hard at the sport. Otherwise you'll get humbled like really fast in D1. So like how much credit do you give your family for kind of keeping you on that like humble route and just giving you the support you needed to continue in the track that you want to grow in?
My family, like I grew up in a grounded family. Like we supported one another. My parents were always at my events, no matter what it was. If it was a choir concert and I didn't want them to come, like they were there. I feel like not everyone had as much support as I did. So like my parents would support other people. And my parents gave me the work ethic, like taught me that there are other people that are going to be better than you, and you just have to accept that. But training with people who are better than you is going to make you better. So I feel like they just always helped me to just focus on keep grinding. My dad listens to Jocko a lot.
Okay.
So like there would always be podcasts going on in the morning, or he'd always have like a phrase that he would say. So I feel like my life was just surrounded with like make yourself better, like be a great athlete. And yeah, it was just I grew up in a home where athletics was kind of expected, but they pushed me to love it and pushed me to grind and do my best.
Yeah, that's awesome. Again, just shout out to them and the Heartland too. I feel like South Dakota, Nebraska, anywhere in the Midwest region. I feel like that is just kind of a good. It's one of the places where I could understand in New York why people aren't so nice because you don't have time.
Yeah.
Like you're not relying on your neighbors to really help you out because it's like you are leaning on more of a government because it's just like so big that your neighbor isn't going to help you out of like a crisis where out here in the Midwest, it's still small enough to where like you do need to know who your neighbors are in a sense. You don't want to be weird and eavesdropping on them, but it's good to know your neighbors. And I feel like that just builds like a way tighter community because you rely on each other more. But anyway, that's a tangent. We'll get off that as we got to go to break here. And we do have a caller actually. So why don't we go ahead and just take that right now? You are on 93.7 The Ticket. Who is this?
This is Christine Walker. I'm Megan Walker's mom. She's on Speed and Power right now.
Absolutely. Perfect timing. What's on your mind?
Hi, this is Christine Walker.
Hi,
Megan,
Mom.
you got any questions for your mom?
How's it going, Mom?
Things are great. It's good to hear what's going on the show.
Thank you for listening.
Now, I got a question for you. Is there anything that we should know about Megan Walker that maybe she's too humble to say herself, or maybe even a funny story that she doesn't want to bring up that you feel like we should all know?
You know, she has been just one of the most determined individuals from the time she was just a little girl. And so it's reflected today in how she approaches track, academics, everything at Nebraska. And she just loves being a Husker and using that determination for good.
That's awesome. And Nebraska's definitely happy to have her on the roster and here as a Husker. And again, shout out to you guys. I mean, Megan just kind of went on a tangent thanking you guys for everything you did for her. So I think the thanks kind of goes both ways. But
well, she's a lot of fun to encourage and follow.
Absolutely. Appreciate you calling in. And again, if you want to get the dad to call in as well, that's always allowed on the next segment. But we'll throw it to break here. And again, thank you to Megan Walker's mom for calling in. But we'll throw it to break on Speed and Power right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at doane.edu.
March is a month of good luck. From epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
March is full of high school state basketball action, the NCAA tournament, baseball season starting up, all great things that also cause a lot of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of all of it with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages, deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A. Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $10 off any athletic shoes $105 and under, and get $15 off any shoe over $105. Choose from respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, On, and 361 Running. And don't forget the trendy Hey Dudes. A new shipment just arrived for the season. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings to 1900, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at doane.edu.
March is a month of good luck, from epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
To Speed and Power on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm your host, Megan Walker from the track and field team, and I've got Harrison here with me, and we are just vibing. We got one more segment left. So yeah, we're just going to finish out the night.
These headphones always mess with my glasses. Every time I put my headphones on, if I don't do it just perfect, it like slides them forward, and then I just have like a gap for my glasses just like hanging in front of my eyes and not actually sitting there. But anyways, we're set now. We got a short segment. This one will probably be like roughly 4-ish minutes. So again, get your questions in. Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. And if you want to put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, we're streaming on all of those. And again, Megan's done a really great job of getting guests here frequently. Really, I mean, just a lot of high-tier athletes. I mean, we had Nick Bryan on. We've had Trey Palmer on in really good fashion, too. You seem to get him at the right time. We had Nick Bryan right after he got the record. Mm-hmm. We had Trey Palmer as preparing for the NFL draft. So, again, like getting to hear these guys, you can catch those all at the podcast. That's theticketfm.com or Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts from. But, again, she's bringing some great guests on here. So if you're missing some of those, I definitely recommend just checking them out. Even, we cut them up into 3 episodes. So if you don't want to hear, just us, goofing around talking about anything, we do have labeled, so you can figure out where the meat of the bones is if that's what you're looking for. But again, yeah, just shout out to you for bringing a guest on here. And I do believe we have some lined up. We won't give out, we'll tease it a little bit. We won't give out names, but sounds like we got some pretty good athletes coming up down the road here as well. So, we're kind of talking over the break. We're just kind of excited about the ticket. Like this place is growing, and I'm sure like all of those of you guys listening, we just got Adam Carricker, Amon Green. He's Thursday 6 to 7 now. And it just feels like every month what DP and Rebecca do, this place is exploding. And it's a lot of thanks to you guys, everyone watching on streams. Like we're not even live on air, and we get people to watch our streams, download our podcast. So it's just kind of awesome to see. I want to ask you, like from the student perspective, as these student athletes are like joining the ticket, is the ticket kind of becoming more well known, at least in the UNL circle?
I feel like it is. Like my teammates ask me like, oh, who you got coming on the podcast, or like, hey, like, can I be on your podcast? So I feel like it's becoming like more known, because when I got here, like I didn't know about it till like I'd talked to Nuri about it. And then once I was on it with Nuri, like I feel like more people are talking about it, and like having guests on, like people are saying like, oh yeah, I just did this podcast the other night. Like it's becoming more out there. Shout out to DP for letting me have be on here.
Yeah, so, seriously, shout out to DP. And you can't leave out Rebecca, the brains of the whole operation. Is DP will set you straight if you don't put that in there.
She's the boss.
Yeah, and then especially the guys like Nuri. I know we don't have him right now, and that's fine. Like with football and school, like things are going to happen with student athletes, but we have so many student athletes in the arsenal now that we can just kind of interchange, and it works better for everyone. But again, like the pioneers like Nuri, because it's got to be cool. Especially for younger people, like before you do it, like, is this really a thing is this worth my time? So to have pioneers like Nuri do it, we've had Reagan Hinsey now for a long time for the swim team. And now you're I'd still say you're definitely part of that early generation. The later generation will be like when we're all downtown and things are nice. And it's like, oh, why wouldn't I do this? And it's like, well, at one point in time, we're in a basement, but it's crazy to see. Like, I'm just excited about it. I don't know where you're at.
Yeah, I'm super excited. This place is doing amazing things, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Like, especially moving downtown, like that's exciting.
Oh my god!
Like so many new changes.
Yeah, and if you haven't, go ahead and check out the Twitter account for 93.7 The Ticket and DP. Like I said, it's just like news dropping all the time. It's almost like I need PR training because there's so much happening. And I'm always like excited to say things on air. And I'm like, oh, I need PR training because I don't even know if that's been announced. Like I have to check our accounts frequently because there's updates that I miss because there's so much happening right now. But it's just really cool to see. And again, like the Speed and Power show, I mean, at least in your idea, plan to keep this going through most of your college career. We'll see where it lands. But again, it's just been awesome. And can't thank you guys, the listeners, enough for tuning in. But before we get out of here, we got a little bit of time. Highs and lows. You got any for the week?
Highs and lows. I don't like to focus on my lows, but my highs, I had really, really good rice today. Like it was phenomenal. And I've been thinking about it all day. I don't know what about it, but it was really good. Really good workout today. Last week was really good workouts. And yeah, just like grinding era right now. Focusing on myself, my mental health.
What was so good about the rice? That's a strange thing the texture?
It had such good flavor to it. I don't know what it was because I always get that rice, but it was just so amazing, like so abundant, like so flavorful.
That's the wrong one. I meant to do the outro there. Nonetheless, we'll get that going. But yeah, again, like I can see rice. It just seems like a weird thing to kind of pick out, but I can see it. I've had some rice, where they let it soak too long. It's like kind of chewy. Yeah. That throws me off. But real quick, I guess my high, Creighton lost. I don't care what you say. I know people get so upset about that. You need to root for the state of Nebraska. It's sports, man. Yeah. It's sports. At the end, we're talking about, it's a game. If the part of the fun is rivalries, if it's fun for me to watch Creighton lose, it's fun for me to watch Creighton lose. We're not talking politics.
I love that for you.
It's the best part about sports. With that being said, we'll throw it to break. Wrap up the show, but don't go anywhere. We got Talking Tens. They will go from 8 to 9. In the meantime, you can listen to Westwood 1. They are calling the girls tournament right now. Some good stuff there. Appreciate you guys listening, and have a great rest of your Monday night.